What's your unpopular opinion this week?
That motherhood is not the only way to have a fulfilling life.
Well, yeah, I think for me it is that I will not make my kids the tools of my activism.
It's the politics of motherhood.
Welcome to the politics of motherhood, because everyone has an opinion about motherhood. I'm Washuka.
And I'm Lynette.
And Lynette.
Yes, Washuka.
What is your big win this week?
Listen, kids are in school. I have two whole children in school. And kind of just seeing how they are growing and evolving, getting to pick them up from school, and they tell me today the teacher did this, my best friend is this, this is what we did in school. Like getting to that point of actually communicating has been quite fulfilling.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think I used to get scared about it, like, oh, my kids are in school, what is that going to mean? How will they cope? But seeing that they are happy to be waking up and going to school in the morning and happy to become, like, they're happy about both situations.
Yeah.
Going to school and coming
being
home.
home.
Because I know that sometimes kids can be very unhappy about going to school.
Yeah.
Or they enjoy school too much, they're unhappy about coming
Back
home.
home.
And seeing that my kids love both situations. And it reminds me of, this thing I watched or read or something that said, whenever you're hard on yourself and you see your kids are happy, just remember that you are creating a happy environment for them, and you are the one who's doing that work. So for me, that has just been kind of a big win, just seeing that. Of course, I miss them. Like after what was 3 months at home, after the long holidays, and just missing those moments of playing with them and being home with them and just seeing them at home, but seeing the progress that they're making has just been very amazing. Yeah, and that has been my big win. What about you?
My big win is I finally introduced the bottle to Luca.
Oh, wow. How did that go?
Finally. It went well.
Yay!
He accepted the bottle. He drank his milk. So now...
Is this, are you doing formula or are you doing espresso?
No, express milk.
Okay.
Express milk. So, yeah, that's exciting. Now I need to figure myself out the pumping schedule.
Yes.
I hate pumping, but I just have to, if I want to have some level of freedom, if I may say, then I have to do it. And so maybe this might be the last time we're having Luca in the studio.
No.
Yeah.
What? Why?
Yeah.
Can we just have him for like one last episode? I mean,
One last recording.
Yes, one last recording.
One last recording.
Yes.
Okay, I can consider that.
Okay,
I can
good.
consider that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
baby,
God, I
you'll be
miss
missed.
you.
You'll be missed, Baba. Okay, so let's go to today's topic.
Yes, it's
Talk
a
about
big one.
money.
Money.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Money, and motherhood.
Isn't that? I don't know. Where do we start?
I think I want to understand how you grew up. How do I frame this? As you were growing up, how did you see money being managed by your parents? Like, that has informed your views up to date?
Okay.
Or
It's actually a really good place to start. As our listeners might have heard, I grew up in Nyamira. And interestingly, like, of course, a lot of people that I met who'd never heard of Nyamira would be like, what village is that? It's a fantastic village. And in the household, all money belonged to my dad. At least in the conversations. It would be like, Mama, I need this, because it's easier to ask your mom, and it'd be like, go ask your dad, or I'll talk to your dad, or this is your dad's money, kind of thing. And I think for her it was a defense mechanism. She had 8 children, so if everyone came to her, she had to create a barrier. Like, but before I talk to my dad, I have to have my story straight. So there was a part of that, but then also I grew up seeing my mom make money. She still is a businesswoman. She had multiple ventures. If anyone has ever listened to our podcast and wondered, like, how many things does this chick do? It might be coming from that. She has a butter shop, which she started in 1978. She
Like Butter the brand.
The shoe not manufacturing, but a shoe distributor.
Yeah.
In her case, she was one of the retailers for butter, and she was a farmer. Now she's not actively the farmer. My dad has become the farmer. They do large scale like maize farming, tea farming. She tried like different trades here and there and stuff. When I was in class 2, I used to sell avocados because my dad has the best avocados. The other day I met someone who said, I never liked avocados until I ate your father's avocados. I was like, yeah, of course. So I used to sell avocados. So the way money was introduced to me, it was anyone can make it. But in their case, it had an owner. And for me, the reason I also did not believe the money has an owner is my mom had a bank account. So even when she said this money belongs to your dad, I also knew she had a bank account. So I knew that
she told you expressly that she has a bank account.
There are days she would say, I'm going to the bank.
Okay.
I'm like, if it belongs to him, then why are you going to the bank?
Yeah.
So I knew she had access to the money as a woman. And then growing up, you become old enough to understand that there are days your mom made more money than your dad. In fact, many days, especially when she was
yes.
And especially in that I would call it patriarchal kind of environment. You would think that all money is made by the man. And fortunately for me, that also freed me up from that thinking of a man should make more money than you, and that it's okay for women to make money. If you're lucky to have made that, that's good. And seeing that money was a partnership between my parents, that they partnered in my mom could support my dad's ventures, my dad could support my mom's ventures. He remained a high school teacher and headmaster until he retired. And then seeing him come out of that and start ventures, and my mom kind of supporting, those ventures. So money was interesting. And finally, the thing that I learned from my parents was never to take loans. And I must say that's a lesson. I have a group of friends that always makes fun of me for that thing, but I say I generally don't take loans.
Yeah.
But because I never saw my parents take loans, I learned that they took loans later, but my dad always drilled in us, do not take a loan, And he never said that he never did. So we just assumed, at least I assumed, that he never took loans. So for me, it was, a lesson from them just being, do not be in debt as much as you can, and if you can avoid it, just don't be in debt. So the thing that gives me anxiety about money sometimes is like, oh my God, I owe the delivery guy this money, I owe this person money, I owe the hardware this money, I owe, So I'm always like, I need to just make sure I pay it and be debt free, because I don't want to be carrying debt in my mind. So just in general, when it comes to money, that's how I grew up, around money and kind of the things that inform my principles and my practice for money.
Would you say you were well off? What class were you? Mid class?
I would say we were middle class.
High net worth.
Yes. For Nyamira standards, I would say we were definitely like upper class.
Yeah.
And mostly because of the ventures that my parents were in. In the last episode, we talked about like how much you even spend on your kids' education. Those are principles that I also got from my parents. It's even if you make a lot of money, you have to make sensible decisions around like education and how much you give to your kids. As much as my mom had access to all the shoes in the world, I literally had 2 pairs of shoes a year growing up, and that was it. Like 2 pairs, nothing more than that. And that has informed my choice around like, you can have access to resources, but that doesn't mean that you waste them or you don't use them appropriately. So we grew up Nyamira standards well off.
Yeah.
Of course, then you come to Nairobi, then you're like, oh, okay, yeah. But I'm very thankful for that, because the being well off in Nyamira standards gave me access to education without worry. I knew my school fees was paid, gave me access to good shelter, gave me access to entertainment. We always had a TV, like I've always known that we have a TV. We always had electricity. But then it protected me from excessive wealth that you probably, and this is not to say that people who are excessively rich are indisciplined, but then it allowed me to navigate where I am today, which is, even if I have the resources that I need and I can do whatever I want with money and my children, I have the discipline of where I came from and I don't overdo it, kind of thing. I hope that makes sense.
Makes sense.
Yes. What about you?
So let me go back. I think by the time I was being born, my mom was fully in business, was fully an entrepreneur. Yeah, so BW before Ashoka. She was employed.
Yeah.
And then she resigned and now has been doing business until now. My dad has been the one in formal employment, but his own practice. So for some reason, my mom never had money. Like, every time I'm asking her for something, it's like, sina pesa, ask your dad. I'm like,
the money always just belongs to the father.
Yeah. So now when I was old enough to ask for some of those questions, I'm like, what is going on here? But anyway, I don't know. But yeah, so my dad was the one he took the typical provider role completely up until date. Like, he'll pay all the expenses in the house, insurance, like all the big ticket things, he'll do it. I don't know how exactly my mom uses her money, but she uses it somehow. And she enjoys it as well. I've also grown up seeing, I think men in their generation took so much pride in providing for their wives, because I've seen my dad giving like pocket money to my mom. I was like, wow, cool stuff.
Look at what God is doing for other people.
Yeah, like on a daily, it's happening. I'm like, wow.
Interesting.
When I was growing up, I thought that was I didn't like it. I was like, why is a man doing all, okay, listen, I don't know why. I think this was the toxic femininity, right?
Yeah.
Talking. But now I see it as such a big flex to be able to provide for your woman and your family to that extent. The good thing, I never lacked the basics that I needed. School fees was always paid. I think my dad used to pay when literally by the time this term is ending, he's paid for the next term. So there's no point in time that I was out of school because there was no school fees. So the provision aspect was key. Also, I grew up seeing the karimo we talked about during the Christmas.
Yes.
So that has
I still need to get my karimo, by the way.
That really shaped how I handle money and my money personality. So I'm a big saver, big investor. So that really helped me, in that aspect, to be also frugal. Because my parents are also keen on not making us brats. So it was very drilled in my head that this money is my money and your mom's money.
Yes.
You go out there and work for your own money.
Yes.
So that I know that, I have to work for my own money kind of situation. What else is something I wanted to say?
As you remember that, just on that point,
Yeah.
interestingly, my dad also, when you grew up the way that we did, and people are like, oh, but you guys are rich and stuff. And my dad used to tell us without fail, all of this is my money. And it is not yours. And if you want your money, you go and work for it.
Yeah.
And so for that reason, and maybe we'll talk about this, a little later within this episode. Now my family is doing our whole it's kind of succession.
Estate planning,
succession, because my dad has said, here's your inheritance. The eight of you figure it out.
When he's alive.
And now you should hear some of my siblings being like, I don't need this. I'm good. Well, that's the neurosurgeon. But everyone in this point being like, okay. I mean, impressive. It is impressive. But it's like, I don't quite need this. And it's interesting, like the kind of discipline and practice that has put. And I'm like, I cannot wait to tell my children, this is my money.
Yeah.
Maybe it will set them up for a different life.
Yeah.
So that we don't have access to my father's money growing up and stuff. Yeah.
So I've also seen money being a tool to help people. My dad is so generous, to a fault, honestly. I remember there's a time in uni, a friend of mine didn't have school fees. And I just went and told my dad, this lady, she doesn't have school fees. Do you know my dad paid?
Good for him.
He paid it.
Yes.
And he's just generally, he's always supporting people.
Yeah.
In one way or another. So I've known money is also a tool of helping others.
Yes.
I've also seen the value of social capital with my folks. The way they come together to support each other, and they're generous in the giving. It's beautiful. I wish our generation could have that as well. So I think I've had very key money lessons from my folks, very, very key, and I'm grateful.
That is quite interesting.
Yeah.
I would say, okay, maybe let me ask and then I'll answer that as well. Is there any moment your parent maybe sat you down and said, here is the money principle I'm leaving with you, like guided you about how you do
in
money?
fact, you have reminded me what's the key thing I wanted to say. We didn't really sit down to discuss money. It was not a discussion that we had. I don't remember us talking about budgeting. I don't remember us talking about how the money was made. If you needed something, just ask daddy, and it will either be given or not if it's money. It was not a very open conversation. So to your question, they've not sat down to say explicitly, this is what I'm leaving you. This is a principle around money I'm leaving you. But from undertones, it's work hard. Work hard, grind hard, make your own money so that your kids can have a good life. That is what I have seen being communicated without being said.
Yeah. I think for me, interestingly, the other day, because now my kids want to buy donuts from Lucy. I think Lucy is the donut provider in school.
Okay. I was like, is that a brand
and
called
sometimes
Lucy?
they ask for money. Like yesterday, they asked for 50 shillings, and I gave one and did not give the other. And I said, you go buy it, ask Lucy to split it, and then
Yeah.
And this morning I was anyway. So at a point they asked, like, Mama, how can I make my own money so I can buy my own donuts?
Oh, girl, you don't want to do that.
And I'm like,
Enjoy.
well, now we're asking the right questions. But for me, just like you,
Enjoy being provided for, man.
Yeah, but being provided for comes with restrictions, and I think that's what they're avoiding.
I get it.
But there's a lot of by observation, because my dad has some rental properties, and he used to send us on Saturdays, like end of month, he would write a list and be like, go to this place, and some of these places are like a few kilometers away from each other, and like collect this amount of money from this, and then you would go knocking at people's doors, being
that
like,
was before
this was before
management.
M-Pesa. in case anyone is wondering when. So you would go knock at the door, like, I'm here for rent, and then they will give you cash, you'd record it. And so I grew up knowing that you can have people pay for your product. And just, on Saturdays, my mom would have us at the shop, helping her out, loading boxes. The butter, I remember the butter gray pickup would bring stock, so you have to do stock taking, arrange the boxes, and butter used to come with these huge boxes and bags and everything. And for me, then that was the principle. You can trade, you can become a franchise, for a big company and sell. So for me, those were kind of some of the principles, and it was by observation. My dad also is very generous, but in a very like super principled way. And for him, his generosity starts and ends at education.
Yeah.
If your child has an issue, my dad, like at a point, my dad ran a school, and he used to have this principle where it was, if you have 3 kids in the school, it was full fees for the first one, kind of like 3/4 fees and half fees for the third one. So like
the fourth one, no fees.
It probably would be free.
4th, 5th,
Yeah.
free.
So and sometimes like, is this a, the other day my brother and I wanted to take over the school, and like, but what was the business model here? And for him it was, if you have a problem, I'll educate your kids, then figure out the other problems, kind of thing. But I remember also when I got married, the one conversation I had with my mom about marriage and money is, she said, do not have a shared bank account. The end.
Wow.
And that was an interesting lesson. And at a point, I was talking to my cousin who worked at a bank, and she said the biggest issue they see when it comes to relationships, sometimes it's shared account, because one person comes and drains the entire account, and then there's maybe a separation issue just before they file, they come and drain the entire account, or someone misuses money, and then it's a cause for turmoil within the relationship. So it was quite interesting. She did not even explain it. She just left me with that lesson, and I have taken my time to try and understand it and try and make it work for my own marriage. And it's honestly, it hasn't happened to me, but from everything I have seen, it's also been one of those things I'm like, okay, well, I think I'm glad that I got that lesson from her. But yeah, so money in relationships and as moms is also quite interesting.
Yeah.
Where I have seen, for instance, moms tend to spend a lot more in terms of how much you actually spend at the end of the week, because it's like, oh, mama, we need this, and you're running the household, we need the next thing. It's also very unstructured for women than it is for men. In most cases, men are like big ticket things: school fees, rent, insurance, those come at very predictable cycles. Versus you who's like, leo nyama imeisha, we've run out of milk, we've run out of meat, we've run out of vegetables. In the middle of the week at 9 p.m, you're like, so what am I supposed to do with this information? And so it tends to be a lot more unstructured, and you tend to, I don't know if it's spend more, but spend more time spending money than it is for men, I guess. But for you as a mom, how have you then taken the whole money thing into your family in terms of how it's made and how it's spent?
Okay. So before I get to how it's made, I think it's important to maybe I just share like how we manage money at home. My home, my house. We have, it's just very interesting to hear that your mom gave you that advice of the joint account. Anyway, to each their own. Us guys, everyone makes their own money and then you put it in one pot.
You have a joint account.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's interesting how you and I, in most cases, are very different. So bringing in the different experiences is also quite interesting. So awesome. Tell us about that.
Yeah. So it hits our individual accounts and you put it in the same pot, and now we have a joint budget. Yeah. So rent. So we can't. There's no clear cutty. This person takes care of rent, the other does groceries.
There are things that need to be done, and those things are done.
Yeah. So we've taken our joint view on money, just full trust, and transparency and communication. And typically I'm the finance manager of my house. I'm finance ministry.
Finance minister.
Finance minister.
Yes.
Mistress, whichever you want to call. So I manage the money at home.
Yeah.
My husband is more than happy with that. So I will manage it. We'll save, we'll pay out whatever we need to pay out, invest whatever we need to invest in, blah, blah, blah. That's and it's working. It's worked pretty well for us. With a joint, actually currently, everyone can withdraw money but then you have to inform the other person of what you're withdrawing this money for. You can't just
go in and be like, oh, ATM, see?
Exactly, yeah. So we have to communicate at any point in time what you're withdrawing that money
so there's
for.
predictability.
Yeah, exactly. So how we make it, work, formal work, office job. Typically, right now I'm in a different season where I'm not in a formal work situation. So my husband is my sponsor. It's his salary now. And that's, you just manage it. So we're coming from a 2-income household to a 1-income household. And we're just trying to navigate that space this year, to see where are we cutting things, where are we adding things, how are we going to manage, going forward. Because I think we had to sit down and just agree, with the industry that I'm in, it should be very difficult for me to be present at home as well.
We've talked about that. Yeah, yes.
Because it's very, very, very demanding. Yeah. So we just had to sit down and agree, like, there's no point in time that our financial ambition will come before our kids. Because what was the point of having them in the first place? Yeah. So we've agreed that, he's going to take the burden of provision, as he should anyway. And I'm going to focus on the family and find ways like I can make money without it taking away from home. Yeah. So that's how it's working out for us.
And what I like about what you've said is also that level of communication. And thinking back to the advice my mom gave me, probably in that experience, it's the people don't communicate that well unless you're very intentional about communicating. People do not communicate. You just find yourselves in a situation because that's what society demands of you.
Yeah.
And then you find yourself in a really terrible position because then it's like, oh, okay, we're here, and then someone has done something and, they cannot be questioned. They cannot be asked to do anything. So it just becomes that big issue of you cannot even recover from some of those decisions. So so that's quite important, communicating. As
communication.
Well with your, and even when you don't have a joint account, you must communicate.
Okay, tell me how that works, because you can do your own shenan and no one will find out.
I will buy me a jet if I need a jet. Nobody can ask questions. We definitely do communicate. In terms of so both my husband and I are entrepreneurs. And that does mean, like, for our qualifications, that does mean that we forgo the safety of formal employment. So you have to figure your own.
I have an opinion on that because we've grown up knowing that employment is safe, but it's not. It's not. It's just predictable.
No. It's more predictable.
Yeah, but it's not safe,
especially income-wise.
Yeah.
It's a bit more predictable.
It's
Even
predictable.
if someone lets you go today on the 20th of January, for example, predictably 30th of January or 31st, you're gonna have an income. You're going to have a salary. If you lose a job as an entrepreneur today, that's it. It's gone. That's the end. But you're absolutely right. And those are some of the things that we have discussed.
Restructure can happen.
Yes. We've talked about some of my issues last year, with our consultancy that I was doing. And it's like, because of this environment, then that's
and now that the world is, global, US has pulled funds.
AI is replacing jobs. There are all those things that are coming in.
Yeah.
So it's so because of the structure in my household where both of us are entrepreneurs, we had to sit down and communicate. And part of that communication is there are months that I would be the one taking care of everything, and there are months that he would be the one taking care of everything.
Wow.
Versus, it's 50-50, so you bring in your 50 and, I bring in my 50 and we take care of everything. And for me, in terms of that kind of a structure, it's also, you mentioned something quite interesting, which is you will not, put your financial ambition in front of your kids.
Yeah.
And of course, when you come from a background of men are providers, and women, as they say, what women do is a hobby, and it's the men's work is what is important. To being in an environment where you're both entrepreneurs, you're both trying to get things running and moving. Thankfully, I've been an entrepreneur for a long time, much longer than he has. I've been an entrepreneur for 15 years. This is going to be my 16th.
Well, that's all your life.
So almost. Yes,
adult life,
all my professional and adult life.
Yeah.
So I'm in a place where I put in, the structures to ensure there's, at the very minimum, a monthly recurring kind of income, which is very useful. But then you have to sit and communicate, and getting into marriage and my husband deciding to go into entrepreneurship, which now 6 years later was the best decision he made.
Is it?
Yes. But then, for himself, for our family, for our kids, it was the best decision. And for me, it's seeing that he's able to drop the kids at school every morning. I'm able to pick them up every afternoon. That he's able to do homework with them, every day. The things I'm able to do with them. Kind of seeing that divide. For us specifically, it's only been possible because we are entrepreneurs. Because then you have you don't have a lot of them, like for that qualification, like he's an engineer from Manchester University. For that level of qualification, like he would be making a lot more if he worked at Safaricom, for example. But then that would mean he'd be out of the house at 5 and back to the house at 9. And those are some of the things that that we've had to forego as a family. But then in return, there are things that we have gained, and most of that is in time. Kind of the time that we're able to spend with each other, the time that we're able to spend with our kids. But then money is also relative, for different people, which is there are people who cannot afford the kind of lifestyle that we have, that cannot afford for both of them to be entrepreneurs, for example. So that's also the thing that I think needs to be explored, but it's quite interesting. I think. Yeah.
Are there particular things that you did in relation to money to prepare for motherhood, like the very first time you were a mom? Were there things that you did to better prepare yourself for that season?
Yes. The first time I became a mom was during COVID in 2020.
Wow.
So there are decisions at that time I had to make, for example, taking on a full-time consultancy to make sure that we had income. At that time, I think my husband was still employed, but for me, there was that anxiety of, I knew that by formal I mean my white collar business would not have survived that period, because then I ended up supporting that business for about 2 years. So by supporting it means full payroll with no income, making sure that everything is on. Thankfully, when we were working from home, so you didn't have like rental issues. And then in 2021, or was it 2020, is when I also started the woodworking business. Because then I knew that people are still at home. So they're noticing the things that are missing. They're noticing their couches that need reupholstering. They're noticing their kids need this toy. People are online. They're seeing the things that are happening in Europe and, DIYs and stuff. And they're looking for carpenters. So I had to change from, I'm a computer scientist who's been doing computer science and data science for, at that time, 7 or so years. And one, like, I lost about 3 contracts when COVID hit. We were advanced stages. Companies stopped spending. They were just like, no, we are not going to spend any money on like hiring consulting firms and developing software and doing all of that. So I had to be creative around that. So it changed my mind in terms of like, I had to find a stable income to support my, one of my businesses, and I had to start another business to be able to, kind of sustain that for like when the consultancies were unpredictable. Yeah. And then only last year did I then kind of just come out of that and now refocusing on just my businesses. So I was doing a lot of like trying out a lot of consulting work and doing all of that. And I think not necessarily because of my home environment growing up, because I did not see that because of money, in the sense that but I saw a lot of like in the environs where women were helpless because they did not have money. And that also influenced I must have money, because then I don't want to be in a situation where I become mistreated for any reason. My husband is fantastic, but in that defense, moment of I don't want to not have money and then something terrible maybe happens to me. Yeah. So those are the things that changed for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. What about you?
Insurance.
Okay.
Medical insurance.
That
I had to get one. And I think it's not very common knowledge that once you get an insurance, you need most insurance firms, they do 12 months waiting period before you can use the maternity cover.
Oh, yeah. Maternity. Yeah. If you default for a month, you're out for another 12 months.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
If you are on maternity cover and then you don't pay it, and then you pay it like you default for that 1 month, you're treated as a new, because then it shows intention. Actuaries are very clever like that, because it shows like, why did you leave? You probably now are pregnant, or you are planning to get pregnant. So yes.
Okay.
So once you're on maternity, if you leave it, you just know that.
But it's maternity under the overall medical cover, or you can take maternity cover alone on its own.
I haven't explored it. But it's an extra charge on regular. It's one of the items that you would add.
On your general
cover.
medical cover. Yeah. So having a medical cover and making sure that I've served that waiting period, so that when I get pregnant, I'm covered. I don't have to go into my pocket. So having that was crucial. Another thing that I prepared for is I knew that I wanted to have kids. Kids are not a surprise. So you can plan for
you,
them.
they were not.
I mean, like, you just... the timing of it can be a surprise, but the whole idea, the intention that you want kids is not a surprise. So you can actually plan for kids. So I started saving up for their school fees. As early as immediately we got married, we started putting money away every single month for that purpose. And so that, anyway, I don't want to get into the nitty-gritties of having an education policy versus all that shenan. But you can do your own research. It's better to save in an MMF than to have an education policy.
Sorry to cut you short, but very interestingly, one time my relationship manager at the bank was really pushing me to get an education policy. And I just told him, if I gave you 1 million shillings over the same period of time, do the math for me if I put the money in an education policy versus if I put it in an MMF, and then I'll come and we'll talk about it. And when I went and we met, it was better to do it in an MMF than in an education policy. And of course, with education policies, there's always the push of, what if something happened to you? What if, and I'm like, what if nothing happened to me? But anyway.
But even then, with an MMF, it's still part of your assets. So you can always, it can go to your beneficiaries. That's why you write a beneficiary when you're 100% signing in.
So it's interesting because I did the math with that. So please go ahead.
So I planned for that. I planned for an emergency fund. So every month we'd put away cash for emergencies. Emergency in this case was loss of job. Loss of work. So we're able to cover our expenses for a period of 6 months. Well, we didn't get to that full fund, but
thankfully,
that was in the works. It's just planning my finances in case of any eventualities, and also planning ahead of time. Also, when I was working, some of the things that I did was buying bonds when they were, that when the interest rate was high.
Yes.
We are eating good.
There's a 16% one that I missed that I'm like, But anyway.
I bought when the interest rate was at 24, 25.
Yo.
Yeah.
So those coupons
are good. When I see a prompt, I'm like, money.
Good.
Yeah. So there's that aspect of investing. Yeah, and I also want to try doing foreign stocks, perhaps EFTs and all that kind of stuff, but I've not applied my mind to it just yet. Yeah, so that's how I prepare. Just preparing for those eventualities, getting a medical cover, putting also a sinking fund as well for a sinking fund for expenses, for major expenses. So expenses such as
in case anyone was wondering, Washuka is a financial guru, by the way. So don't be flabbergasted by all the acronyms.
Yes, so I put money away for things like buying their clothes, buying their diapers in bulk, lotion, those things that they'll need for the first time. So that these expenses just don't get you flat-footed. You're like, wow. As if you didn't know the baby would come with these expenses. So, that's how I planned myself.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Do you think, in your case, did motherhood make you more ambitious money-wise or less ambitious? Let me explain my situation so that it puts it in context. Motherhood made me less ambitious, especially work-wise, in the sense that, again, I keep going back to qualification, but for my qualification, people would reach out and be like, hey, there's this role. And I would question, does this role require me to travel excessively?
Yeah.
Does it require me to be in the office excessively? Does it require me? And I would say no to a lot of things that would pay a lot of money.
You left money on the table.
I left money in the room and its tables.
Yeah.
Because then I was like, if it's going to take me away from my family, if it's going to take me away from my kids, then I am going to not accept this challenge. Because for me, it was like, no amount of money is worth, missing those moments with my little ones.
Yeah. No, that's the motherhood penalty, right?
Yes.
I also tend to agree with you as well. Motherhood has made me less ambitious.
In that way.
Yeah. Yes. I was seeing a meme that was saying, once you become a mother, like everything else takes a back burner.
Yeah.
That's a result of postpartum. Anyway. But it's different for different women, as I've come to learn. But for me, it definitely made me less ambitious. And I wouldn't say less ambitious. I would say I reprioritized. Yeah. And for me, being present for my kids is more important than any amount of money I would make. And people are fighting me on that one.
Why?
Family people are fighting me on that. They're like, you have so much potential of making so much money. But I'm like, at what cost? And I remember also my husband asked me, like, you're 30. Isn't this the time that you need to be grinding? This is the time that you have the energy to do all these things. Do you think you'll regret it later? And I told him, let me tell you, what I will regret is not spending time with my children.
Yes.
That one I can tell you for sure. Career will pick up later. Yeah. And I might not even go back to that career that I've been in. I might do something totally different. Yeah. So it's just made me reprioritize and just made me realize what's more important for me. And that's just being present for these boys. And I'm so happy. I'm so happy with that decision. I'm happy. I know that things we might not be able to achieve
to do
financially, but I'm also not blocking the possibility of it happening, because life can change so quick. And it can work, it can happen. All these dreams and goals that you have can actually come to be. But I'm happy downsizing. And for me to focus on this, I literally just had to tell him, like, if there's nothing you can do for me, it's just make it possible for me to be at home.
In my head, I'm imagining him on Christmas Day giving you a present with a note saying, "I stayed employed."
Yeah.
That's your gift this year.
No, and I will take it. Imagine I will take. I'll be like,
yes,
thank you, sir. Thank you. But as I'm saying, I've really gotten backlash. Like, it's been seen as a lack of ambition that I want to stay home with the kids. It's been seen as a lack of ambition, and I'm like, it's okay.
And you have to get to a point where you get past that, because there's, just to what you're saying. Yesterday, I was having a conversation with someone, and they pretty much said how many broken homes they're seeing because of the money ambition. And the money ambition, part of it is, I want my kids, I want you to work harder because I want our kids to be seen to be boarding this school bus, this specific school bus. I want us to be seen to be wearing these clothes. I want us to be seen to be shopping from this kind of place. And these are things, that actually happen, where the money ambition then becomes beyond being able to cover our needs and to reduce the risk of starving and our kids not being able to school. It needs to, in that hierarchy of needs, that money needs to show us to be of a certain class. And I think for me, this is one of the things I have loved about how I was, brought up, which was, you can live frugally and that's okay. So a friend of mine calls me the toy market mayor. I accept the title because I'm also like, if my kids need clothes, I'll go to toy market, I'll buy them clothes, which they'll wear for a month, and before you know it, they have paint stains and mud stains and they're torn, and you don't feel the pain of having spent 100 shillings on, and you just keep it moving. So for me, it's things like those, being like, the things that are important to me is where we live for sure, because then you want to be in a good environment, where my kids go to school within reason, and that we're eating healthy and well, and everything else is
a plus.
We will, I was looking at my bathroom, I did vanity the other day, and I was like, I literally have one piece of soap, because we have discussed that we don't like shower gels. And I have one soap and a bath towel, the end, So for me, like, I'm fine not doing skincare, for example. I'm fine not having manicures and pedicures, and just downsizing on some of those things that are. And for a lot of people, this is not judgmental at all. For a lot of people, that is how they release. That's their me moment and stuff. So I've been able to look at, like, what can we live with? What can we live without? Within reason, to be able to still be happy people. And so money is just like that thing that is so stressful. I was talking to my mom the other day, and I don't know what we're talking about. And I just said, well, if we lack food, thankfully we have a small farm that has vegetables. There's some chicken, and that's it. And you'll send me flour for ugali, and we're good. So sometimes I wonder if we put upon ourselves how expensive life can also be. I have seen, unfortunately, I'll use this example either way. I've seen, like, ladies crying online that they need help and they need money. And I'm like, with a full face beads and manicured nails, no thanks. I'm like, well, it's not like you need to look like the struggle, but it's also like, where are the priorities?
It's the money, exactly.
Where are the priorities in this sense? Like, there are people who are living very, very simply on very, very little, and maybe they're okay. They haven't told me that they're okay, but maybe they're okay. So for me, it's the going back to, I grew up in the village, and our fun was, we played outside with our relatives, and we came home and ate and slept, and just trying to replicate that level of simplicity, and not to be so stressed about, like, making too much money and then having to pay the price, especially where kids are involved.
I agree with you. For me, I look at money as a means to an end, not the end in itself. So, like, it helps me buy things. not really like the goal.
Yeah.
Because that way, then you'll never be satisfied with what you have. You'll always want more.
Do
And
you
it
think?
brings out other vices, right?
I mean, money is a good thing.
It is a very
Don't
good
get
thing.
me wrong. I mean, being able to afford.
But if you make it your
It can't be
your
your-
end, beginning and end.
No, it can be your be all and
It will
and all.
control you,
Yeah. Do you think money is different for men and women?
In what sense?
In the sense of like, at least from what I have seen, how women and by women here I mean like maybe moms or dads. Like for women, I tend to see it's like my kids are healthy, they have good clothes, they go to good schools, and we are able to afford like the home lifestyle. Excuse me. Versus for men, which is I drive a nice car.
Go to golf.
I can go to golf. I can do all these things.
Can meet up with the boys.
I can meet up with the boys, which is very like external to the household versus
Yeah.
women who are like, it's this household. Like I have new curtains, I have a new table, I have like. Do you see that difference?
Yeah, I do. Because when you get money, some windfall as a woman, you'll probably just go first of
Upgrade
all
the
go
house.
into improving the house, buying some curtains or doing some renovation you've always wanted to do. But you think of yourself last.
Yeah.
But men, they will take care of themselves. They'll take care of themselves first, for sure.
They'd be like, my car has a broken door. I need a whole new car.
Like enough of times I have to reel in my hubby, like, wait, that is not important just yet. Like, we need to fix something in the car. I'm like, okay, so the car is moving.
Yeah.
It's taking us from point A to point B. Okay, so that's not a priority, right? So you have to always reel in, like, just when you have some excess somewhere,
Yeah.
you can do what you want to do. But
Actually,
for
I have
now-
a very interesting question for you.
Yeah.
As a mom of boys, and so as a woman and mom of boys, what are the money lessons that you think or not think, but that you will give to your children?
Wow. So now that I'm a boy mom, I will drill into them the value of responsibility. Like, they need to be responsible. In terms of when they get a family, they need to take care of their family first. I've seen families where they really struggle, where the dad will take care of everyone else in the village except
His
their
family.
own family. Yeah. So just to teach them that value of taking responsibility. And I also want to show them that money should work for you as well. As much as you're working hard to get that money, it can also be working for you somewhere in an investment fund, or to just learn how to invest, and also to be transparent in how they use it, like not to misuse funds, like to just value money, in that you're not misusing it in other weird things, alcoholism or some women, or use money responsibly.
And I think in that use money responsibly, as you're saying, and especially for men, it is do not use money as a tool to punish your family.
Yeah.
Because that also comes like you disagree with the mom and then I'll not pay school fees for the children. I will not take care of you, so I'll not take care of the children as well. So that also comes at a very big price.
And you as a girl, are you going to tell them that they should not have joint accounts?
Listen,
They should have a secret stash.
no joint accounts in this area.
They should have a secret stash that the husband does not know about.
For me, and which is something that we've like as a family started talking about with our kids as well, now that they're asking how they can make their own money for donuts, is that you can build things and actually sell them to make
Oh,
money.
yeah.
For me, it's the tools for making money.
Yeah.
My husband is actually a wealth manager, so he's built his own like AI software for trading and stuff. So for us, helping to show them some of those things. Every so often I bring them to the workshop, so they get to see how you build a table and that you can build this table. They get to see my sketchbooks, and like this morning, they came in to say bye for school, and they're like, "What's this, Mom?" I had drawn some butterfly lampshades, and I was like, and even before I could respond, they're like, "Is this for the workshop?" So they get to start knowing that you can actually draw things, then you make those things, and then you sell them, and you make money. So maybe there's a bias in terms of like us teaching them how to be entrepreneurs and to start to start building their own things. But for me, the important thing is, one, how to make money. And then 2, how to use that money. And then 3, just because you have it, it doesn't mean you have to spend it. And I think that brings us to a very good conclusion. But before we close...
That has gone quite fast.
Right? This was a fun moment. So maybe we need to invite a guest who's maybe in the money market fund and the education fund.
A more wealth manager, financial advisor,
to be able to advise our mothers on how to make money, how to use it, but mostly how to make money, because money does make the world go around.
It does.
Yes. So as we close, Washuka, what's your unpopular opinion this week?
That motherhood is not the only way to have a fulfilling life, and that is a truth that deserves space without judgment. It's okay. Like, it's not everyone who will be fulfilled with having kids.
That needs to be an episode.
Yes. Coming right up.
Yeah.
But we need to give space for that truth.
Okay. Good.
And it's okay.
And it's okay. Well, yeah, I think for me it is that I will not make my kids the tools of my activism. And part of it actually touches on what you are saying. I believe people should have children, but I'm not going to force my children to have children just because my activism is people should have children. Or if I believe that men should not look at women wearing short skirts, I'm not going to make my kids wear short skirts and be like, dare you look at my child. So and I find that unfortunately there's a lot of like moms who do that, or parents who are like, this is what I believe, so because of what I believe, I'm going to put my kids like in the crossfire and kind of dare society to do something about it. So for me, it is that I can believe something and fight for that thing without putting my kids...
That expectation on your kids.
Yeah, having that expectation on my kids, or using my kids as an example of doing that thing.
Okay.
But maybe we'll expound on that later because we're out of time.
Yes, sure. That was a nice episode.
This was
See you next week, guys.
Bye.
It's the politics of motherhood.